Hey everyone, it's Des DeLizo. Thank you for tuning in to Draw Me Nearer Hawaii. I'm so excited that you are here with me on this journey. The Lord has been good throughout, and I've learned so much, and I just want to share what God has done in my life, and hopefully it's an encouragement to you. Today I'm going to talk about what cancer taught me in life, about life, through life. Okay, so let's just dive right in. So twice upon a time, I had cancer. The first time we discovered it, my ankle had been painfully swollen for months and then misdiagnosed as tendinitis. I was going to brush it off as something to deal with in my old age. I was turning 30 at the time. I know that's not old. I know, okay. But a nurse and parent of one of my students urged me to seek answers like x-rays and MRIs. She told me months is too long to be dealing with any kind of pain. So I listened. After asking for further investigation, the results showed that not only were tumors present in my right ankle, but also in the bone marrow of my right hip, a rare bone cancer called Ewing sarcoma, which is, I had never heard of it until up until that time, but apparently it's usually found in teenagers and usually in boys. So 30 years old, clearly not a teenager, and I'm not a boy. But they found that the cancer was metastatic, which is a term meaning widespread. This is not good. It's kind of like stage 4 and other cancers that that are more commonly known, like breast cancer or pancreatic cancer. So the first thing I learned is when something seems off, don't be afraid to get more help. I had been going to the doctor. I had gone to the doctor several times, and I was just fed up with getting the same answer and not getting solutions, but just getting rehab advice instead of preventative advice, and I really was ready to throw my hands up. But ask for a second opinion. It's your life. Don't risk it on the fear of offending someone or on the lie that you just got to deal with the pain. Because that's what I did, and it was wrong. So intense chemotherapy treatment and radiation followed for 10 months plus 7 months of maintenance chemotherapy. So the 7 months after was not as intense, and so my hair started growing back during those 7 months, but it just kind of stayed at a certain length, just kind of like fuzzy. It was really soft and fine. And so aggressive cancer calls for aggressive treatment, and in those difficult times, these are the lessons that got me through. So number 2 is that life is precious. We're not guaranteed tomorrow, so you got to be grateful for what you have. Celebrate your milestones and cherish your loved ones. I'm reminded of the Bryant family and other families who suddenly lost their loved ones a few weeks ago. And I'm safely at home with my husband and daughter. I knew 2 friends who were being treated for cancer at the same time I was. One was about 6 years younger than I was. The other was about 15 years older. I remember thinking, man, I wish I had it as easy as them, because they seem to be doing so well. And the young kid, I came to try to encourage him, as we just happened to be at the hospital at the same time. And I came to encourage him right after my chemo was done, leaving the hospital. And I was so sick, I barely could sit up. And I'm just like trying to, hold my stomach and not throw up everywhere. And he's just starting, but he's sitting in his hospital bed, playing on his phone. Not while I was speaking, but just he was on his phone. And as I left, he went back on his phone, like, no big deal. Yeah, and he was very confident. Yeah, we're not worried. Basically, he was telling me, not worried. I know I'm strong, kind of thing. And I left thinking, oh man, why does it seem like some people have it easier? And we're both getting treated for cancer. I think he had a different cancer than I did, but so happened that both of them, the older lady and the young man, they both passed away during my treatment. While I was still having chemotherapy, they passed away. And it made me think, why are they gone and not me? How did I survive? Why am I still here? I may never know until I see my Creator, my Savior, but I'm learning not to take my time here for granted. So, the third thing that I learned also is to learn to laugh at yourself. Most times when I can either laugh or cry, I choose laugh. Laughter is one of the best medicines out there, and it's free. My favorite joke right now is when my husband Justin told me, he goes, knock knock, who's there? Baby Yoda, because we're big Star Wars fans. So if you haven't watched The Mandalorian, you're missing out. Just because of Baby Yoda. Yes, just because of Baby Yoda. Okay, knock knock, who's there? Baby Yoda. Baby Yoda who? Baby Yoda one for me. Woo! Yeah. Yeah, thanks, babe. Yeah. Yes, we are a Star Wars family. A Disney family, in fact. They take our money all the time. And we like it. Okay, number 4. Never. Oh, this is the last one. Okay, guys, it's a short one. Eventually, I'll build. Okay, I'll build. This is the last one. Never. It's very important too. Never, never, never give up hope. The treatment worked for me. I mean, I just talked about how a couple other people didn't make it, but the hope is not necessarily the physical cure. I'll get to that. So the treatment worked. No more cancer. And every 3 months afterwards, the test results were good until they weren't. Almost 10 months after I had completed treatment. So the cancer returned in the same spot on my right ankle. And thankfully it didn't spread anywhere else, which meant the next best step. It's hard to say. Next best step. Try saying that 10 times fast. The next best step was amputation of my right foot. Thankfully below the knee, because the more joints you're missing, the harder it is to learn how to walk, how to adjust. But thankfully it's below the knee. And my hope has been the same, that God is faithful. And his love for me never changes. This is the artwork that I created at the end of my treatment. Psalm 115:1. Not to us, O Lord, not to us, but to your name give glory, for the sake of your steadfast love and faithfulness. And I hope that I always remember that. It's because of his love and his faithfulness that I'm still here, that I'm standing. The Lord is faithful, and he is the cure. His hope is sure. Life might get worse for you as in terms of circumstances, but inwardly, the strength that comes from putting your faith and trust in the Lord is undeniable. I'm learning now to walk again in a totally new way, and learning every day not to give up, but to rise up. Thank you all for listening in again. I hope you have a wonderful day and keep drawing near.